Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to this community showdown. It's going to be the Chaos Dwarfs vs. Dinosaurs, F-Pod versus House Cat of War, and ladies and gentlemen, I know you've seen the Dreadquake Mortar in action, but have you seen the Dreadquake being pulled by a mighty train? So it is going to be an Iron Demon towing the Dreadquake Mortar, and I do think that this is one of the matchups in which the Dreadquake Mortar itself can be good, but obviously when you attach the Iron Demon, it takes it to a whole nother level. It becomes, I think, 3,400 gold, 3,300 gold, but, you know, it is a little bit more mobile and can be repositioned, and Dreadquake Mortars actually work better and are more accurate, in my experience, at close range. So if you have them, like, up near enemy lines, they tend to hit more consistently than they do from downtown. It's like a little short lob, basically. But, yeah, this is a really expensive centerpiece, so we'll see if it can get its value back. It is going to be Chaos Dwarf Warriors, backed up by a couple Infernal Guard Fireglaves. These guys obviously there to shoot at any big dinosaur threats, pterodons, ripperdactyls, and of course to have halberds to fight themselves. What you don't want is these guys getting tied up in combat versus like Saurus and Skinks. Yes, they might be able to beat a Skink unit, but it's going to take them some time. And a Saurus unit isn't going to be very cost effective considering how expensive they are. Chaos Dwarf Warriors in the front. Obviously, if you're playing the Dwarves versus Lizardmen matchup, Dwarvish infantry typically trade very well because of their high armor, and the same thing's going to be going for their Chaos Dwarf cousins. Now, the character here is going to be a Demon Smith sorcerer, so he's not the Prophet. This is the Demon Smith, and the reason why you would bring him if you're going to be going for the huge, expensive, Mortar train is that he does have the Reforge ability, which is somewhere down here. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. It's around there somewhere. Blazing Body, Infernal Engineer. I know it's here somewhere. There it is. All right. So it was near the spell, so I got a little bit confused there. But this can heal your big Dreadquake, which you're going to want to do. It does have 10,000 HP, but even still, it does have low melee defense. So if it gets caught by like Saurus Spears or, even like some Colden Riders, it can go down pretty quickly. So yeah, very excited for this one, guys. House Cat of War, he is going to be coming in with his King Chief for a little bit of poke. I kind of like this as like a weird tech. If somebody has like an undefended magma cannon, you could just kind of sit this over the top of it, maybe snipe it, or shoot at the big expensive lords, right? Up in the sky who wouldn't be able to catch this King Chief. So I do like that tech from House Cat of War. Aside from that, it's going to be Saurus Warriors into the sunset with some Razordons at the back. Always a nice choice. The Arc of Fire thing, when you're trying to shoot at Bull Centaur renders, they have a very strange Arc of Fire, but for some reason the Razordons can hit them a little bit better. And of course, Chaos Dwarves are fairly armored, right? So having the armor-piercing Razordons as opposed to the damage variant that does fire damage. Oh my god, first shot going down. Saurus Warriors getting pounded by the monstrous impact. Brutal, brutal. We're going to be seeing a Heaven's Toad coming out. So this is kind of a cool tech. You use the Lore of Heavens with Overcasted Uranus Thunderbolt to snipe artillery pieces. And obviously this is a design tech against the Magma Cannon, right? And, Death Shrieks, but probably not going to be super good against the train, which is going to be able to move out of the way. And oh my god. On Itza, this seems like it's pretty nasty too. Oh my god, another shot coming in. Big, big damage there on those Saurus. It does have a little bit of an afterburner effect as well. As up in the sky, we do have the Demon Smith Sorcerer being poked and drawn into the shadows here by the Skink Chief over on his little Pterodon, so he's certainly having a jolly old time. And there's going to be the first cast going down. It looks like the Chaos Dwarf player there, F-Pod, is able to dodge it. Now, Uranus is good even if they don't have the artillery because it does quite a bit against, like, infantry. Oh, man, look at the two blunderbusses just pounding those Razordons. I think, like, the absolute chaos and havoc that's being caused. Oh, and the friendly fire shot. Oh, the Chaos Dwarf just getting obliterated by their own weaponry. I love it. Yeah, it's a good time for all. The big Dreadquake train doesn't discriminate, and it's going to continue. Thomas the Pain Engine is certainly on the move. So more power is active, which is going to be giving it a little bit of a speed increase, as it is being supported by some laborers. The side objective most likely going to be taken by the Lizards. High ground objective is currently not being taken by anybody. And we're basically just here to watch the Dreadquake shoot. So it does get a nice shot into the Saurus Spears over here. And it looks like another Uranon's going to go down. And this should be overcasted. No, that's a banishment from the Toad. So let's see what kind of damage it does. Not bad. Does go through the units and, able to do about 30-40% damage. So that's certainly quite cost effective. In the middle, the Chaos Dwarves do kind of get rolled up, though. The Power Fist Troxgors, the Cohort of Fwaddle, able to move in, looking super cool in the process. But they are going to be moving into some big guns, right? So we do have the Infernal Guard with the Fireglaves here, another Infernal Guard back here, both of which are going to be pretty cost-effective against Cohort of Fwaddle. Clever Girls in the backfield as well, looping around, looking to try and pin in the Infernal Guard Fireglaves into the Saurus unit, I would imagine, as we do see Bull Centaur renders with Great Opens coming out. Bull Centaur is, of course, a very, very solid counter against these units, and the Thunderbolt, let's see what kind of damage it does. That is really good, man. That was like 50% HP. Uranus Thunderbolt is certainly back on the menu. So, back here, Fireglaze moving in to try and sandwich into the Feral Cold Ones. We do see the Demon Smith Sorcerer Hashit moving down. He does have the Flames of Asgoro. Saurus Spear is going to move in, which of course would be pretty cost effective against the old Bull Centaurs, but I would imagine they'll just kind of maneuver away. And the Spears are chasing the guns, which is good. If they had just kind of gotten tied up on the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, the guns would be able to kind of re-secure and shoot them. But let's watch the Dreadquake. So another Dreadquake shot from downtown, and man, this thing has been devastating this game, dude. I wish we could see the amount of damage that was dealt by both the Iron Demon on the front and the Dreadquake. The Iron Demon seems to like have issues shooting when it's towing the Dreadquake. I see it do it sometimes, but overall it seems like a little bit of a clunky interaction. Now, this is very cost-effective for the dinos. He gets the 2 Razordon hunting packs, and he is able to put some hurt here into the Iron Demon, and it's taking quite a bit of damage. I mean, if the Iron Demon did go down, it's a really, really expensive piece. You can see the value starting to really climb up for the dinos as they do shoot it. But with the Demon Smith being able to cast Reforge on it, Reforge is a really substantial heal. I think it's like close to 20% HP, which, you know, on a 10,000 gold unit is, or 10,000 HP unit is going to be, you know, 2,000 plus HP depending on the circumstances. So Hobo Goblins grab the high ground, very, very cost effective. Side objective currently owned by the dinos. In the middle is contested but owned by the Lizardmen, as the value is pulled back a little bit here, but pretty much all that value is tied up, or not all of it, but most of it is tied up in the Iron Demon, which has been getting healed, and it seems to still be pretty operational here. So up in the sky, Demon Smith Sorcerer not having a good time as the Chameleon Skinks are poking him, but we are going to get some Hobo Goblins who do have shields. And Hobo Goblins are a pretty good answer against the Chameleons. The fact that they have the shields and, of course, super high speed, which can't be completely mitigated by the poison, they're able to kind of ride down these type of units. And Hobo Goblins don't have terrible stats, so they do get the shank in there, and the Chameleon Skink's probably going to be going down, as we do see the value starting to go back up here as the Pain Train, Thomas the Pain Engine, using that more power. And let's see it do its 360 shot. One of my favorite things about this is like the Ogre here, when he like loads the ammo. Oh, that's so cool. It turns, it shoots, and then the Ogre actually has like the reloading animation too. That is so good, it's so good. Another shot here, and you can see the Iron Demon does actually shoot when it turns around, so it looks like the Iron Demon did actually functionally do a little bit of work here. More Chaos Dwarf Warriors are on their way in, while the Fireglaves kind of anchoring the position. It looks like the Fireglaves were able to blast that Banana Toad over there, so a little bit of a misplay letting that guy get caught, but it certainly does happen to the best of us. Side point, Hobo Goblins going to be taking this one, so we do see the Chameleon Skinks getting rode down, and Hobo Goblins will honestly trade okay with Feral Cold Ones. Feral Cold Ones don't have good combat stats. Granted, their armor would make them win a 1-to-1, but when heavily outnumbered like this, the Hobo Goblins should have the advantage in that duel. More Hobgoblins up in the high ground, Infernal Guard Fireglaves, and Bull Centaurs. A very well-rounded build, a very cool build by FBot. I know he's been hyping up the dreaded Iron Demon train here, and as far as its value so far, it has gotten 2,300, which is certainly respectable, and you'll notice it's close, and he is targeting back here. Now, it's kind of weird, like when you target, it seems like it gives the Iron Demon a target, but the Mortar just has a bit of a mind of its own. But okay, there it's listening to the order. The close range shot, let's see if my theory holds true. All right, not bad. Didn't quite get there, they were moving. A little bit of a misfire there, but it is going to be turning around and running through. And will it shoot its Iron Demon when it gets him in sight? Yeah, they need to like fix that. It's kind of a little bit of a janky thing. Obviously, Chaos Dwarves have some insanely strong stuff on their roster, but then there's some, like all those like Skullcrackers and Iron Demons and like machines like that, they're all a little bit haggard. Although I do think the Dreadquake is good in the Bretonnian matchup, or viable in the Bretonnian matchup as well as the Lizardmen matchup. I think like the Dreadquake baseline has some teeth because they like to just spam tons of Sars and Skinks, and it can just kind of farm those guys, right? Infernal Guard Fireglaves do get broken back here by the old Vortex. And the big bull people are going to be moving forward as we see the lizards being pushed off all 3 objectives. So the middle is taken by the Chaos Dwarf, side objective taken by the Chaos Dowie as well. The Hobo Goblins able to really feast, and you know, with the healing being taken into account for the old Demon Smith on the Dreadquake, Chaos Dwarves are probably up by about 3,000 value, which is very substantial. Lizards are usually, they seem to be running out of steam. They lost their Lord. We see a couple units coming out, but the dreaded Pain Engine, man. This thing's been doing some work, and actually in melee it's not terrible. It does get in there and causes terror against those units and did do a monstrous impact. I didn't see it, but at close range it looks like it must have done some work. And another shot from downtown, and the Iron Demon shooting, all right. That's what, oh, perfect. What a great one right there, right in the face of the Chaos Dwarves. You know, it's a fun piece of equipment to say the least. But I don't think the dinos are going to be able to get much back. I mean, they're kind of using the old trickle-down theory here. So we see Skink cohorts moving to all objectives, but they're easily going to be intercepted by these, you know, mid-tier units, these Hobo Goblins, and these high-tier units like the Bull Centaurs. And that is going to be GG, well played. Thomas the Pain Engine coming in and dropping the pain. But really, the Pain Engine did quite good. I'll admit, it probably got, it paid for itself just about, which is cool to see. But the big carries were, firstly, the Fireglaves shooting into the Lord. So the big Banana Toad did just get absolutely mowed down by shooting, and on top of that, they were able to take down the Razordon. So they really carried the game. The Fireglaves were like the true MVPs in terms of cost effectiveness, but it was really rad to be able to see the train actually be like good and pay for itself, which was super fun. We did have some Bull Centaur action, yeah, a couple of them, and Draz Hoth looks like he was in reserve as well, but overall, it was a very fun game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. We'll be back with more hot action soon, and Thomas the Pain Engine, we have to make a bounty for him on Total Tavern, I think. GG's, well played. See you guys next time.